Hey guys, welcome back to Path of the Barbell. I decided today would be a good day to do my final predictions just because the competition is tomorrow and we've had some athlete lineup changes, so let's get right into it. So the athletes competing this year are Maxime Boudreault, Caron, Rob Kearney, Bobby Thomson, Martins Licis, Evgeny Markov, Trey Mitchell, Alexei Novikov, and the Stoltmans, so quite a lineup. And the events this year are the squat for max weight, dumbbell for reps, the log press for max weight, timber carry, and then stone to shoulder. Um, Event 1, max squat, I have JF Caron winning. Based on his training, he's been putting up over 900 very consistently. I think he's going to be really hard to beat on this event. Second, I have Rob Kearney, who has put up 950 in training very smoothly. And honestly puts him in contention for the win on this event. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Rob when it comes to this. After him, I have Martins Licis. Martins has been historically a very good squatter, but if we look at his training, he's only done 400 kg for two, and they moved very slowly. So I have a hard time seeing him beat JF or Rob on this event personally. Not to mention he's had a back injury, which does not play into his favor. After those guys, I have Bobby Thomson and Trey Mitchell. I think either of them could take fourth place. It's a tough call. But Bobby has done 400 plus kg in training during this cycle, so I think I lean towards him. And then after those guys, I have Luke Stoltman, Tom Stoltman, and Evgeny in the mid pack, and then the bottom two, Novikov and Maxime. Neither of those guys are known to be the best squatters, but we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us. Event 2, we have the circus dumbbell for reps, 275 pounds, so very heavy. But I have Alexei Novikov winning this event. I think Alexei's the best dumbbell presser in the world right now, and I think he's the second best dumbbell presser of all time, so very hard to beat on this kind of event. After him, I have Evgeny Markov, who is unproven in competition, but his gym lifts are pretty crazy as far as what he's achieved. I think he's on 330 pounds in training for a max, which is ridiculous. So I think he'll be very tough to beat other than for Alexei. After those guys, I have Trey Mitchell, who did 6 reps with 255 pounds at the Shaw Classic last year. So very impressive dumbbell presser. And then after him, I have Bobby Thomson, who's very good at this type of event, very strong overhead, but not on the level of the guys above him. And then in the mid pack, I have Martins Licis, Luke Stoltman, Rob Kearney, JF Caron, and Maxime. Martins could sneak in the fourth there if he peaks really well, for sure. It just depends. Again, he's had some injuries, so I'm holding back my expectations a little bit for Martins. And then the bottom two, I have Tom Stoltman, who is not looking very confident at all in this event during this training, just being totally honest. And after him, I have Rob Kearney. I listed Rob in mid-pack, but I also have him at the bottom two, potentially, just because of that tricep injury he suffered. We'll have to see how he does on this event. Event 3, we've got the max log. I have Luke Stoltman winning this event if he's healthy. It depends because he's had that shoulder injury and the quad tweak in Britain's Strongest Man this year. But you never know. Hopefully he comes in fully fit and healthy. That would be awesome to see. And on paper, he is the strongest log presser in this lineup. After Luke Stoltman, I have Bobby Thomson. I think Bobby is very underrated on log. People always talk about Luke Stoltman, Graham Hicks, and Iron Bibby being the top log pressers in the world, but I think Bobby deserves to be in that conversation. He's done 218 kilos for the American log press record, which is just crazy. So I think he'll be very hard to beat on this event. I could see him very well beating Luke as well when it comes to the max log. It just depends on how healthy Luke is. After Bobby, I have Trey and Maxime rounding out the top 4. Those two guys are very, very strong on log press. and it's hard to say which one will come out on top. I lean towards Trey a little bit, but it's hard to say, and it depends on who's having the better day at the time. Mid-pack, I have Tom, Martins, JF, and Alexi. All those guys are pretty good log pressers, but none of them really compare to the guys above them on this list. And then I put Rob Kearney at the bottom just because of that tricep injury he's been dealing with. Event 4 is the timber carry, and I have Tom winning the timber carry. We've seen Tom do some insane things on the frame before, looking specifically at World's Strongest Man last year. The first event in the finals, frame carry into yoke, Tom did extremely well, blew everyone out of the water, including a few of the guys in this lineup. And in addition to that, we've seen in his training, he's been doing extremely well. After him, I have Martins. Martins has always placed well at this event, and the guys who normally beat him are no longer competing. So, that bodes very well for him. After him, I have Luke Stoltman, who could do extremely well. He could have a very, very fast time, but it depends on if he can outrun his grip. This is a very heavy frame, but Luke is very good at these types of events. So we'll have to see on the day, And because it's at an up incline, I think that might hinder him a little bit, but we'll have to see. After him, I have JF Caron, who has a phenomenal grip, very, very solid on this event, but he's not unbeatable by any means. 2 years ago, we saw he dropped it about halfway up, and I think he placed maybe 5th, was it? He placed pretty high, but he did lose some time because he ended up dropping it halfway up. So I have him right around that same area this year. And then in mid-pack, I have Pack-Oleksii, Evgeny, Maxime, and Thomson. I think Bobby will struggle on this event, and I think Novikov could have won this event if it allowed straps. But unfortunately for him, it does not, which hurts him a lot. His grip is the weak part for this event. So we'll have to see how he does. Bottom 2, I have Rob Kearney, who couldn't even budget last year. He couldn't even move it off the floor, unfortunately. And then I have Trey Mitchell, who did not do very well on this similar type of event at Worlds. And he also did not do very well at the Shaw Classic for the wheelbarrow carry, which was a very similar event. Then we go to event 5, stone to shoulder. I actually have Trey winning this event over Tom, with Tom in second, just because I think Trey might have better endurance on stones based on the stone eliminator, the performance we saw in 2019. I would not be surprised if Trey beats Tom on this event. Now, we've seen Tom do 400 pounds to shoulder for 3 reps in training, so he could be good for 3 or 4 on the day. And with Trey, it's a bit of a guess because we haven't seen his training. But I'm gonna get crazy here, and I'm gonna say Trey beats him. Third place, I have Martins, who always does really well. He gets about 2 reps on this event. And then Maxime, who's an excellent stone lifter. And then mid-pack, I have Luke Stoltman, JF Caron, Alexei Novikov, Evgeny, Markov. I have those guys in the mid-pack. I think they'll do good on this event, but I'd be surprised if we saw them do more than 1 rep. And compared to the guys above them, that's kind of a death sentence as far as placing podium. Bottom 2, I have Rob Kearney. This is not a great event for him. He could surprise us. He might place a little higher. I feel bad for putting him in the bottom for every single event, but I'm just being honest. And then I have Thomson down here as well. Not his favorite event. So top 5, 5th place, I will go with JF Caron. I think he's very consistent. 4th place, I will go with Tom Stoltman. He's got some great events, but he'll lose points on the dumbbell and squat. 3rd place, I have Luke Stoltman. These are great events for him, and if he comes in healthy, he could do super well. And then I have Martins in 2nd and Trey in 1st. So we'll see what happens.